Well, I'm on the road again, headed to Mechanicsville, Virginia, to visit Steve and Katie Gorman-Love. Steve and Katie explained that they really don't have any building experience. However, the arts and crafts room they created for their children shows off Katie's keen eye for design. Oh, look at this.
It's a '63 Comet. We had a friend of ours build for us.
They must just love this.
They like it, yeah.
I would love to have had this as a kid.
Me too, me too.
That's why you probably did it.
That's why we've done it, right.
That's right.
Well, tell me about the project.
Well, what we thought was we wanted to have recessed shelves here so they can just...
Rather than remove wall studs to create our recessed shelves, we're going to build these shelves into the spaces or bays between the studs.
They can just reach in and get their magic markers, their cotton balls, their shells, whatever they happen to be working on.
Our game plan is to first locate the wall studs, then cut open the spaces in between, and finally build individual cabinets to fit those openings. An electronic stud finder quickly locates the wall studs. For confirmation, though, I always resort to my reliable hammer and nail method. Okay, there's nothing there. I'm just going to move it over like 1/4 inch at a time. There you go, right there. Okay, so this is the actual edge of the stud right here. Now that we've nailed down the stud locations, Steve and I draw their positions on the wall, so we'll know exactly where to cut the openings. Before we actually cut this out, let's cut a little inspection hole. A small inspection hole will allow us to take a peek inside the wall and discover potential surprises such as pipes and wiring before we commit to major surgery. A little more.
The angle.
There you go. That's it. Sawing the edges of the inspection hole at a 45-degree angle will keep the cutout from falling into the wall and allow it to be used as a quick patch if our inspection reveals a problem. I'm very glad we did this.
What are we saying?
I'm very glad we did this. You know what I want you to do is to put your hand in this hole and reach to the left.
Okay. Oh, sure enough. We've got some plumbing back there, don't we?
The best laid plans. Well, looks like it's time to reconsider. Okay, this one we can't use. Too many pipes.
Okay.
This one's okay. Got one small wire in here. We could check this out. This might be available to us. And then we'd have a bay here and a bay here. Are you concerned about it being off-center?
No, I think that's fine. We'll still get the storage we had planned on, and we can consider another alternative.
Like?
Yeah. Maybe bulletin board, I think. Might be fun.
Okay. You know, like a frame, offset these two. Okay. Now we're ready for some cutting. Now, Katie thought this might be a good time to use power tools, but this is a job better done with a handheld wallboard saw. It cuts quickly, makes less dust, and lessens the chance we'll accidentally cut through some hidden plumbing or electrical line. We should probably stop about right here, Katie. There's a cable running down here which we'll have to divert. Okay, good. Okay.
There we go. Look at that. So there was glue.
Now these electrical wires here are going to be a problem, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take this electrical box out, pull these wires up, and run them through this wall stud down on the inside of the wall on this side and put a new box in here. With the wall prepared, it's time to start building our cabinets. They'll consist of a top, bottom, sides, back, and shelves. First, we'll rip all the parts except the back to the same width using the table saw. When it comes time to cut the pieces to length, it's obvious that Hannah is an eager learner. Yeah, see this corner right here? Just imagine you're going to push this wood right into that corner with this at a hand, okay? Okay, then go ahead and cut. Back indoors, we lay out the cabinet sides on a work table. On top, we place samples of the various storage containers the girls will be using. Now, the idea here is to figure out the best shelf spacing. Once we've done that, we draw the shelf locations on all 4 sides at the same time. Want to put some on?
Say yeah. All right.
Young Gracie applies wood glue to the end of a shelf as we begin to assemble our cabinet.
Little more.
Wonderful.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right.
The top, bottom, and shelves are placed in between the sides, held in position temporarily with clamps, and then secured with nails. Hannah, you're a natural. I think I'd ask Mom and Dad for a cordless screwdriver for Christmas. Not to be outdone by her sister, Hannah lays down a near-perfect bead of glue for the back of the shelf.
The idea is to get it flush on all the edges, so just use your fingers and feel.
Once in place, the 1/4-inch plywood back is attached with nails. And guess who does the nailing?
Looks great.
Yeah, it does look great. Okay, Steve, let's see if this fits.
All right, that looks great.
Hannah, could you bring some clamps over
You guys
there?
did a fine job on that.
Confident. This is going to drop there.
Good job. Perfect.
You like that?
A real nice fit. Now we clamp the shelf to our wall stud, making sure the face of the shelf is perfectly flush with the face of the drywall.
Okay. Yeah, I was apprehensive at first, but once we got in the thick of it and first couple cuts, and I got used to it. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
After drilling a pilot hole and countersink, we attach the shelf to the stud. Shims help us keep it level and plumb.
All right, looks good.
Very nice.
Katie wants the shelves to have a whimsical frame with sweeping curves.
And up and down. Then we can go up.
So she first tapes paper on the wall. Then Mom and daughter sketch the frame outline.
Yeah, we'll straighten that up.
We carefully take the paper down, and then up goes strips of 1/4-inch thick plywood. The installation is temporary, so we just tack the plywood in place with a few small nails. Spray adhesive is applied so that we can temporarily attach the strips of paper to the surface of the plywood.
Hold this up, Katie, if you can align those
Okay.
reference marks now.
After trimming off the excess paper, we remove the plywood and cut it to shape, using the paper pattern as a guideline.
This is a very satisfying creative challenge because we're able to incorporate a lot of elements here. We're able to take something that's solid like wood, but it's also organic, and we can make it appear fluid. Okay, good. Now, I've never done this either, and I've been always wanting to experience it.
Now it's time to install the family work of art. We apply some panel adhesive to the back of the frame sections, then nail them to the edge of the cabinets.
Now remember, this is the bay that we couldn't use because it had the plumbing inside, and Katie came up with a great idea, which was to put a bulletin board up here. So that's exactly what we're going to do now. We've moved the electrical outlet from down here, up here. We patched up our hole, and I'm ready to put this up. So we'll start by putting some construction adhesive or panel adhesive on the back of our cork board here. So let's drop this inside our frame. Cut this to fit.
One last piece of trim completes this Gorman Love original, and our shelves are now a piece of art.
Let's do our last bit of nailing here. So, what do you think?
Love it.
Great. Better than we expected.
Turned out nice.
Absolutely.
did.
We're
And
thrilled.
it was so much fun having the kids involved in building something for their own room. And Hannah has definitely got a future in power tools as far as I'm concerned. I have a favor to ask you. When you get this painted, would you send me a videotape of that?
Sure.
I'd love to see
Absolutely.
the finished
Sure.
product.
Sure.
Thanks, guys. It
Thank
was
you.
wonderful being
Thanks,
here.
Ron. Loved it.
We enjoyed it.
Oh,
Oh,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thanks.
Well, the tape arrived, and as you can see, the paint job added just the right finishing touch.
The color's good.
My guess is that when it came time to brush on that paint, Mom had more than a little help from the family's budding artists.
Claire, say hi to Ron.